Hello, everybody, and welcome to this podcast for the Light Review with me, Chris Fordham, taking a gander at a DRX1, which, although it might sound like a droid from Star Wars, is actually an amazing track-mounted product from remote-controlled lighting. So before we kick off, massive thanks to Matthew Norse of RCL, who, with the grace and manner of a pilot telling you that the weather at your destination is going to be a sunny 28 degrees, gave me a quick once over on how to use this robot light. Oh, if you've ever met him, that is totally true, by the way. He left me with a little book of instructions, which obviously I looked at, but as with any new product or gadget, I just wanted to get going. I thought life's too short, so I think I'll just give it a go and see what happens. Thankfully, the product is very intuitive, as we will find out, perfect for when the contractor has just thrown all the boxes in the corner and is on the phone complaining the product didn't come with instructions. So let's chat more product. Let's check out what we've got. We can see it's quite a simple aesthetic, which is fine by me. I don't really want my products to be showy unless that's what they're designed for. You can see here it's a Eurotrack connector with all the usual gubbins, 3-circuit track, and it's got branding on the side, the RX1, which is always handy if you're talking to the manufacturer. It's always nice to have an easy reference as to where it is with the labelling on the top. Quite a decent heatsink on the back, I'd suggest, which is exactly what you need. There's a lot of gubbins going on in there. I mean, pan, tilt, lens vector for the beam width. So to stick it all in this one can, it's quite an achievement, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger, if I'm honest. The base of the product, as shown here, is where you communicate with the device with your handheld controller. So ordinarily, when that's turned on, it flashes yellow, and when you connect with your controller, then it flashes red, which is a good visual indication. And if you want just to have an idea of size, because it's always handy to have something to compare it to, right? We've all been caught out buying stuff online where we think it's huge and it's really tiny. This is a bottle from a well-known beverage manufacturer. You get the idea of the size. It's quite small, especially you've got to consider what's going on in there. It's pretty impressive. It's a little bit heavy due to that, but I've no complaints. It's what you'd expect, I guess. Excellent. So let's crack on with the trial. What we're looking at is right at the end of the track, and it is currently unlit. So the means of communication with the product is by use of the red button on the handheld controller. So in order that you know that the product has been activated, you aim the laser at the product and you're paired with that product. So I can now turn that on, and we can turn it on to 100%. The product comes with this handheld device. It's quite tactile, quite like it. I mean, you don't want a credit card size controller, do you? Especially when you're on site aiming things. And all of the commands are quite familiar. The layout's quite familiar. I mean, no prizes for guessing what this one does. We've got pan and tilt, up and down. We've got a function menu and a dimmer. So I think that the function menu itself, we turn it on, that allows you to access the various other elements that probably we won't all use today, but you've got your beam width there, which is through a lens vector technology, which I love that technology. It's almost like witchcraft. Color temperature, and you can also see you've got recall scene and I think you've got the home position, which is I've been told for cleaning, which is where it is at the moment. So I'm going to just aim that product at the wall and see what happens. Let's see if we can do some aiming. So it's the middle of the day, it's quite bright. I think that's quite a nice output there. As you can see, the product is not where I want it, so I'm just gonna pan that down, see whether or not I can get a better fitting output. Cool, it looks quite warm. Let's change the color temperature. Bob's your uncle. Obviously, the benefits are massive in respect to time, getting people up ladders. I really hate getting up ladders. I'm not a ladder person. I'm not good with heights, and if I can do anything to avoid getting up a ladder, I will generally do that. I mean, the product allows me not to get up a ladder. I'm already sold, to be honest. In addition, it is going to allow me to adjust the beam width, and I do remember when back in the day lighting galleries, crossed my fingers when it came to turning on the installation. I mean, you never really knew what you were going to get until you switched it on, right? So that's a headache I could really do without, and this product that takes that away. I mean, it's obviously a niche product. When the missus came in and looked at the lights that I've got here on the track already, she did say, I much prefer the one that we're testing today. And I said, I don't think our budget stretches to that, but obviously it's not really for home use. I think massive benefits are in spaces like restaurants and conference halls where you're going to have to move tables, get people up ladders, contractors, and that's time consuming. So if you can avoid that, this product is exactly what you need. And its flexibility is amazing. I mean, if I could have one, I probably would actually. So we'll wrap it up there for today. Thanks for joining, and be sure to share and like this if you like what you saw. And yeah, RCL remote control lighting, I think that's a product that I'd always wanted to have, to be honest. 20 years it's been in the business. I think it was the first one to come on the scene. So you definitely know what you're going to get. Good stuff. See you later.